Welcome to the Econ Breakthrough Shortcuts. In these 5-minute episodes, we cut straight to the real stories, real numbers, and the real lessons learned from brand builders and entrepreneurs just like yourself. No fluff, just high impact takeaways that you can apply into your business today.
But another example of a brand that we worked with, this was a home goods brand. They made like kitchen items. And just since I want to share more of the details, I'm not like mentioning brand names specifically here, but they traffic was healthy for that brand, but we were finding that the growth was really expensive. To get more page views was really expensive for the brand. Didn't feel very efficient based on kind of how we were trending with them. And so one of the things that we did by focusing on, okay, how are we going to improve page views? We, broke that down further from that being kind of the high level opportunity to, okay, we need to improve organic page views specifically. And so, we dug into a few things and we identified that, they have an amazing ROAS. So it looks like they're very efficient on advertising, but their ads aren't very effective over the long run in growing their organic growth. And so digging into then where their sources of traffic were, we identified that, hey, they weren't getting a lot of off Amazon traffic. And B, most of their traffic was actually coming from their own branded terms, which is, again, something you can measure. And so we identified, all right, so we want to get more non-branded traffic, both on Amazon as well as traffic from off Amazon. And so for that brand, we then focused on two kind of controllable action areas or inputs. One was similar to your example with TikTok, but going after micro influencers on Instagram. It was a very demonstrable product and, very nice looking. And so it was well suited for like a micro influencer strategy. And so we started doing that, got some really good traction. Again, the goals or the actions were how many influencers are we reaching out to every week? How many collaborative posts are we getting every month? And then obviously like the attributed page views and sales from the Amazon attribution links. And so that was one thing that we focused on. The second thing with the advertising was we used the search query performance report where you can see your share of clicks and purchases. And of course, you can filter that just to your own branded terms to basically be this kind of audit mechanism to then test pulling back on branded advertising and reinvesting that into non-branded advertising. There was this big concern since like 40+% of sales were coming from branded keyword traffic that, hey, are we going to like kiss 40% of our business goodbye if we just pull back entirely on this? And so we use that report as the way to track, hey, if we, week over week test pulling back 10% on branded advertising and reinvest that into non-branded, can we retain our branded sales? And what we found with this brand is that we did. So we were able to use the search query performance report and see that our purchase share on those branded terms, actually it was a little bit counterintuitive. It actually went up like 0.5% over the several week period, even while we pulled, I want to say it was about 70% of our spend on defensive or branded advertising and reinvested that elsewhere. But really at the end of the day, like this was a success story because they were able to repurpose that capital and ultimately increase their organic traffic considerably because they brought in this new channel of micro influencer traffic from off Amazon using brand referral bonus. So like was not very expensive either. And then also repurposing this branded spend to more effectively using that towards non-branded keywords where they're able to build up more of those new to brand customers. And just reduce the reliance on their own branded terms and defensive advertising by increasing the pie, going after, non-brand aware customers on Amazon. So yeah, that's another example there where, we first had to identify, okay, where should we focus? We're clearly not doing as good as we could. And then what are the controllable actions that we're going to measure on and task the team to go do to improve that controllable input metric?